Do you ever feel like your life is stuck on repeat? Same struggles, same results, and no progress? Here's the truth: they've been lying to you about what it really takes to transform your life. Stick with me and I'll show you a simple one-year success plan that can change everything. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day, but underestimate what they can accomplish in a year. That's why so many goals get abandoned before they even begin. But what if over the next 12 months you could completely redefine your life, your habits, your mindset, and your results? This isn't about quick fixes or hacks, it's about building a solid foundation for lifelong success. Let's dive in. 1. Start with clarity, define your vision. Let's begin with something foundational: clarity. Without it, you're just wandering aimlessly, hoping you'll stumble into success. Picture this: a ship set sail without a map, no destination in mind, and no compass to guide it. What happens? It drifts. That's exactly what happens to your life when you don't have a clear vision. You drift, you react to circumstances instead of creating them. Now, here's a truth that may sting a little. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or resources. They fail because they lack clarity. They don't take the time to ask themselves the hard questions: what do I want? Where am I going? Why is this important to me? If you're serious about transforming your life, this is where you must start. Clarity is the foundation of all progress. It's not just about setting goals, it's about understanding your true desires, your core values, and your purpose. Take a moment right now and reflect what truly matters to you. Is it financial independence, better health, more meaningful relationships, a career that fulfills you? Write it down and don't stop there. Be specific. Let's break this down. If you say, I want to be successful, what does that mean? Success is different for everyone. Does it mean earning a certain income? Achieving a work-life balance? Traveling the world? You have to define it in a way that's personal and meaningful to you. Here's an exercise that will help you gain clarity. 1. Visualize your ideal life. Close your eyes and picture what a perfect day looks like for you 1 year from now. Where are you? What are you doing? Who are you doing? Who are you with? How do you feel? This isn't just daydreaming, it's about aligning your actions with your aspirations. 2. Ask the right questions. What excites me? What frustrates me? What am I willing to work for, even when it's hard? Your answers will reveal what you truly care about. 3. Create a vision statement. Take what you've discovered and put it into a concise statement. For example, in 1 year, I want to be earning $5,000 a month from my online business, living a healthy lifestyle, and spending more quality time with my family. Once you have your vision, something amazing happens. You start to focus. And when you focus, you start to see opportunities you were blind to before. It's like when you buy a new car and suddenly you see that model everywhere. It's not that those cars weren't there before, you're just now attuned to noticing them. But let's not sugarcoat it. Clarity doesn't come overnight. It's a process, and sometimes it can feel uncomfortable. You might realize that the path you're on isn't aligned with your true desires. That's okay. It's better to face that reality now than waste another year heading in the wrong direction. Remember, clarity isn't just a one-time exercise. It's something you revisit regularly. As you grow and evolve, your vision may change, and that's perfectly fine. The key is to always have a sense of direction, a compass to guide your decisions. And here's the kicker: clarity isn't just about knowing what you want. It's also about understanding what you don't want. Think about the things that drain your energy, waste your time, or distract you from your goals. Eliminate them. So what's next? Once you've defined your vision, you need to translate it into actionable steps. That's where the next part of this one-year success plan comes in, breaking it down into manageable goals. But before we move on, take a moment to get clear. Remember, you can't hit a target you can't see. 2, break it down, create manageable goals. Now that you have your vision, let's talk about the next critical step, breaking it down. Big dreams are exciting, but they can also be intimidating. Think about this: if someone handed you a 1,000-piece puzzle and told you to complete it in one sitting, you'd probably feel overwhelmed. But if you focused on assembling one section at a time, piece by piece, it would start to feel achievable. That's how you approach your goals. Big goals often fail because they feel insurmountable. I want to lose 50 pounds, I want to save $20,000, I want to write a book. These are incredible aspirations, but they can paralyze you if you don't have a roadmap. The key is to break them into smaller, manageable chunks. Let's use an example. Imagine your goal is to save $12,000 this year. That sounds like a lot, doesn't it? But what if you break it down? That's $1,000 a month, or about $33 a day. Suddenly it feels a lot more doable. You can start by cutting back on unnecessary expenses like dining out or finding ways to earn a little extra income. Here's another example. Let's say you want to get in shape. Instead of saying, I want to lose 50 pounds, focus on losing 1 pound a week. That's it, 1 pound. What does it take? Maybe it's going for a 30-minute walk every day or swapping sugary drinks for water. Small, consistent actions lead to big results over time. Breaking your goals down serves 2 purposes. 1, it builds momentum. Small wins create a sense of accomplishment. When you hit a mini goal, it motivates you to keep going. It's like climbing a mountain. You don't focus on the peak, you focus on the next step. 2, it reduces overwhelm. Instead of being paralyzed by the enormity of your goal, you can focus on what's immediately actionable. It makes the process feel less daunting. Here's a practical method to break down your goals. 1, set annual goals. Start with your big picture vision for the year. 2, break them into quarterly milestones. What do you need to accomplish in the next 3 months to stay on track? 3, define monthly objectives. What specific actions will you take this month to hit your quarterly milestone? 4, plan weekly tasks. Break it down even further. What will you do this week to make progress toward your monthly objective? 5, focus on daily actions. Finally, decide on 1 or 2 things you'll do each day to move closer to your goal. Let's take another example, writing a book. If your goal is to write a 300-page book in a year, that's just 25 pages a month, or less than a page a day. Can you write 1 page a day? Absolutely. And here's a bonus tip: celebrate your progress along the way. Every time you hit a milestone, acknowledge it, reward yourself. It doesn't have to be extravagant. A simple pat on the back or treating yourself to something small can go a long way in keeping you motivated. The beauty of breaking your goals down is that it shifts your mindset. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by what you haven't done, you start focusing on what you can do today. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. So take that big dream of yours and slice it into bite-sized pieces. because when you take it one step at a time, you'll be amazed at how far you can go in just 1 year. 3, build daily habits that align with your goals. Let's talk about one of the most powerful forces in your life, your habits. These are the small, seemingly insignificant actions you repeat every single day. Now, here's the thing about habits: they don't just influence your life, they shape it. They're the invisible architecture of your success or failure. Think about it. Success isn't built in a day, a week, or even a month. It's built in the little moments, the choices you make repeatedly over time. Let me ask you this: what are the habits you're practicing right now? Are they moving you closer to your goals or further away? Here's an uncomfortable truth: most people overestimate what they can achieve in a day, but underestimate what they can accomplish in a year. Why? Because they focus on intensity rather than consistency. They want quick fixes, dramatic changes, and instant results. But success doesn't work that way. It's not about what you do occasionally, it's about what you do consistently. Let's break this down. Imagine you commit to reading 10 pages of a book every day. That doesn't sound like much, right? But over a year, that's 3,650 pages, the equivalent of about 12 books. Now imagine if those 12 books were on personal development, business, or a skill you're trying to master. How much could your life change in a year? Or take exercise. Let's say you walk for just 30 minutes a day. That's not a huge commitment. But over the course of a year, you'll have walked the equivalent of hundreds of miles. It's the small, repeatable actions that add up to extraordinary results. So how do you build habits that align with your goals? Let me give you a roadmap. 1, start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Focus on 1 or 2 habits at a time. If your goal is better health, start with drinking more water or cutting out sugary drinks. If your goal is financial freedom, start by saving just $5 a day. 2, anchor your habits, pair a new habit with something you already do. For example, if you want to start journaling, do it right after brushing your teeth in the morning. This creates a mental association that makes the habit easier to stick with. 3, track your progress. Use a habit tracker or a simple checklist to keep yourself accountable. There's something incredibly satisfying about checking off a completed task. 4, focus on consistency, not perfection. You don't have to be perfect. Missing a day isn't the end of the world, but don't let it turn into 2 or 3. The goal is to stay consistent over the long term. 5, reward yourself. Positive reinforcement works wonders. Celebrate small wins. If you stick to your habit for a week, treat yourself to something you enjoy. Here's another tip: be mindful of the habits you already have. Some of them might be working against you. Maybe you have a habit of hitting snooze 5 times every morning, wasting time on social media, or eating out instead of preparing healthier meals at home. These habits don't just waste time or money, they chip away at your potential. Now let's flip the script. What if you replace those habits with ones that served your goals? Instead of hitting snooze, you could use that time to meditate, exercise, or plan your day. Instead of scrolling through social media, you could read, learn a new skill, or work on a side project. Here's the bottom line: habits are like compound interest. The effects might not be visible immediately, but over time they create exponential results. The key is to start now. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because it doesn't exist. Start small, stay consistent, and watch how your life begins to transform. 4, master the art of time management. Time is the great equalizer. Whether you're a billionaire or a student, you have the same 24 hours in a day. The difference lies in how you use them. If you want to achieve your goals, mastering the art of time management is non-negotiable. Let me ask you this, do you know where your time goes? Most people don't. They feel busy but unproductive. They're constantly running from one task to the next but never seem to make meaningful progress. Why? Because they're reacting to life instead of taking control of their time. The first step to mastering your time is awareness. Start by auditing your day. Keep a log of everything you do for a week. Be brutally honest. How much time are you spending on things that truly matter? And how much are you wasting on distractions, endless scrolling, binge watching, or tasks that could be delegated? Once you have a clear picture, it's time to make changes. Here's how. 1. Prioritize ruthlessly. Not all tasks are created equal. Use the 80/20 rule. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. Identify the tasks that have the biggest impact on your goals and focus on those. 2. Plan your day in advance. Start each day with a clear plan. List your top 3 priorities and tackle them first. This is often called eating the frog, doing the hardest, most important task first thing in the morning. 3. Eliminate distractions. Time is like water. It flows into whatever container you give it. If you allow distractions, they'll consume your day. Turn off notifications, set boundaries, and create an environment that supports focus. 4. Batch similar task groups, similar tasks together to save time and mental energy. For example, answer emails at a set time each day instead of checking them constantly. 5. Learn to say no. Your time is finite. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your goals, you're saying no to something that does. Be intentional about what you commit to. 6. Use tools wisely. Planners, digital calendars, and time tracking apps can help you stay organized, but don't get caught up in the tools themselves. They're just a means to an end. Here's a game changer. Treat your time like money. Imagine you have $24 to spend each day and every hour costs you $1. How would you invest it? Would you spend it on tasks that bring you closer to your goals, or would you waste it on things that don't matter? Another tip is to create boundaries for your time. Block out time for focused work and don't let anything interrupt it. Schedule breaks too, because rest is just as important as work. And let's talk about the concept of opportunity cost. Every time you choose to spend your time on one thing, you're giving up the chance to spend it on something else. Make sure your choices align with your priorities. Remember, time management isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters. It's about creating space in your day for the things that truly move the needle. Here's the hard truth: you can't control time. It's always ticking away, whether you use it wisely or not. What you can control is how you spend it. The clock is ticking. Make every second count. 5. Cultivate discipline over motivation. Let's get one thing straight: motivation is great. It feels exciting, inspiring, and gets you pumped up to tackle your goals. But there's a problem: motivation is fleeting. One day you wake up ready to conquer the world, and the next day you're struggling to get out of bed. That's why you can't rely on motivation to carry you through. What you need is discipline. Discipline is the foundation of success. It's what keeps you moving forward when the initial spark of motivation fades. Think of it like this: motivation is the match that lights the fire, but discipline is the fuel that keeps it burning. Without discipline, even the best intentions fizzle out. But how do you build discipline? Let's start small. The mistake most people make is trying to overhaul their entire life overnight. They set ambitious goals, dive in head first, and then burn out after a week. That's not discipline, that's overreach. Instead, start with one non-negotiable task each day, something simple yet meaningful. For example, let's say you want to improve your health. Your non-negotiable task could be drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning or walking for 10 minutes a day. These actions may seem small, but they're powerful because they establish a routine. Over time, these small tasks add up and create a foundation for larger changes. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. But here's the catch: building discipline requires consistency. It's not about being perfect, it's about showing up, even on the days you don't feel like it, especially on those days. Now, let me ask you this: how often have you let your feelings dictate your actions? Maybe you've skipped a workout because you didn't feel like it, or you put off an important task because you weren't in the mood. That's human nature, but it's also a trap. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. One way to strengthen your discipline is by eliminating decision fatigue. When you have to decide what to do each day, it's easy to procrastinate or choose the path of least resistance. Instead, create routines and systems that make the decision for you. For example, lay out your workout clothes the night before, or schedule specific times for deep work. Another key to discipline is accountability. Share your goals with someone you trust or join a group of like-minded individuals. Knowing that someone else is watching can be a powerful motivator to stay on track. But let's not sugarcoat it. Discipline isn't always easy. There will be days when it feels like a grind, when you question whether it's worth it. That's when you need to remind yourself why you started. Keep your vision front and center. Write it down, create a vision board, or set reminders on your phone. Whatever it takes to stay connected to your why. Here's the beauty of discipline: it's self-reinforcing. The more disciplined you are, the more progress you make. The more progress you make, the more confident you become. And confidence breeds more discipline. It's a positive feedback loop that keeps building on itself. Remember, motivation might get you started, but discipline is what keeps you going. Start small, stay consistent, and watch how discipline transforms your life. 6. Embrace failure as part of the process. Let's talk about failure. It's a word most people fear, something they want to avoid at all costs. But here's the truth: failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a critical part of the journey. In fact, if you're not failing, you're probably not trying hard enough. Think about this for a moment. Every successful person you admire has failed, often more times than they can count. The difference is they didn't let failure stop them. They used it as a stepping stone, a learning opportunity that brought them closer to their goals. Failure teaches you what doesn't work, and that's valuable information. It's like a compass pointing you in a better direction, but only if you're willing to learn from it. The problem is, most people view failure as a reflection of their worth. They think, I failed, so I must not be good enough. But failure isn't about you, it's about the process. So how do you embrace failure instead of fearing it? First, change the way you think about it. See failure as feedback, not a verdict. It's simply a result, a sign that something didn't go as planned. That's all. It doesn't mean you're a failure, it means you're human. Next, reframe failure as progress. Every time you fail, you're one step closer to success. Think about a baby learning to walk. Did they get it right the first time? Of course not. They stumble, fall, and try again. And each fall teaches them something new about balance, coordination, and persistence. Now let's talk about fear. One of the biggest reasons people avoid failure is because they're afraid of looking foolish, making mistakes, or being judged. But fear is just a feeling. It's not a fact. The best way to overcome fear is to face it head on. Take small risks, step out of your comfort zone, and prove to yourself that failure isn't the end of the world. Here's another tip: separate your identity from your results. Just because you failed at something doesn't mean you're a failure. Success and failure are events, not traits. They're things that happen to you, not who you are. One powerful way to embrace failure is by adopting a growth mindset. This means seeing challenges as opportunities to grow rather than obstacles to avoid. When you approach life with a growth mindset, failure becomes a natural part of learning and improvement. Let me give you an example. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, reportedly failed thousands of times before finding the right solution. When asked about his failures, he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the mindset you need to cultivate. But here's the thing: embracing failure doesn't mean you enjoy it or seek it out. It means you accept it as part of the process and don't let it derail you. When you fail, take a step back, analyze what went wrong, and adjust your approach. And don't forget to celebrate your failures. Yes, celebrate them. Each failure is proof that you're trying, learning, and growing. It's a sign that you're in the arena, taking action and moving forward. The only real failure is giving up. As long as you're willing to keep going, you haven't truly failed. So the next time you stumble, remember this failure isn't the end. It's just a bend in the road, a chance to learn, adapt, and come back stronger. Failure is a teacher, not a judge. Embrace it, learn from it, and use it as fuel to propel you toward your goals. Because every great success story is built on a foundation of failures. Let yours be no different. 7. Focus on personal growth and learning. If there's one investment that pays the highest dividends, it's the investment you make in yourself. Think about this: everything you achieve in life is a reflection of who you become. So if you want more success, more fulfillment, more opportunities, you need to grow into the kind of person who can handle it. Personal growth isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. But here's the thing: growth doesn't happen by accident. It's not something you stumble into or wish your way toward. Growth is a deliberate choice, a commitment to becoming better, learning more, and reaching beyond your current limits. So where do you start? Start with curiosity. Ask yourself, what skills do I need to develop? What knowledge would move me closer to my goals? Once you have answers, dive in. Read books that challenge your thinking. Listen to podcasts that spark new ideas. Take courses that stretch your abilities. Every piece of information you absorb, every new skill you learn, adds to your personal value. But let's not stop there. Growth isn't just about knowledge, it's also about action. The real magic happens when you take what you've learned and apply it to your life. For example, reading about communication is valuable, but practicing effective communication transforms how you relate to others. Knowledge is potential power, application is real power. Here's another truth: growth is uncomfortable. It pushes you to confront your weaknesses, step outside your comfort zone, and face your fears. But that discomfort is where the magic lies. Every time you stretch yourself, you're expanding your capacity for success. It's like going to the gym. Growth requires resistance. Without it, there's no progress. Now let's talk about consistency. Growth isn't a one-time event, it's a lifelong process. Commit to daily habits that nurture your development. Maybe it's reading 10 pages of a book every day or journaling your thoughts each morning. These small, consistent actions compound over time, leading to massive transformation. And don't forget to measure your growth. Set aside time to reflect on your progress. What have you learned? How have you improved? This self-awareness not only keeps you on track, but also boosts your confidence. The more you grow, the more capable you'll feel, and that confidence will fuel even greater growth. But here's the best part: as you grow, you'll notice something incredible happening. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach will start appearing. People will be drawn to your energy and vision. Doors you didn't even know existed will begin to open. That's the power of personal growth that attracts success in ways you can't predict. One final thought: growth isn't just about achieving external success. It's also about becoming the best version of yourself, someone who's resilient, confident, and fulfilled. When you invest in your growth, you're not just changing your circumstances, you're transforming your entire life. So make personal growth a priority. Commit to learning, stretching, and evolving every single day. Because when you grow, everything around you grows too. And that's how you create a life that's not just successful, but truly extraordinary. 8. Surround yourself with the right people. Let's face it, the people you spend the most time with have a profound impact on your life. They influence your thoughts, your habits, and ultimately your results. That's why it's often said that you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. Now let's get real for a moment. Take a hard look at your inner circle. Are the people around you lifting you up or dragging you down? Are they inspiring you to be better or keeping you stuck where you are? These are tough questions, but they're necessary if you're serious about transforming your life. The truth is, success isn't a solo journey, it's a team effort. You need people who believe in you, challenge you, and push you to grow. But finding the right people requires intentionality. Let's break it down. First, identify the qualities you want in your circle. Look for people who are ambitious, positive, and supportive. They don't have to be perfect, but they should embody the traits you aspire to develop. These are the kind of individuals who will fuel your progress, not drain your energy. Next, seek out environments where these people are likely to be. Join communities, attend workshops, or participate in networking events. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals isn't just about proximity, it's about immersing yourself in an energy that inspires action. But let's not forget the other side of the coin. Sometimes surrounding yourself with the right people means distancing yourself from the wrong ones. This isn't easy, especially if those people are longtime friends or even family. But here's the reality: if someone consistently brings negativity into your life, it's time to set boundaries. Think of it this way: your energy is like a precious resource. You only have so much of it, and you can't afford to waste it on relationships that don't serve you. This doesn't mean cutting people off entirely. It means being mindful of how much time and energy you invest in them. Now, let's talk about accountability. The right people won't just cheer you on, they'll also hold you accountable. They'll challenge you when you're slacking, call you out when you're making excuses, and remind you of your potential when you doubt yourself. This kind of tough love is invaluable on your journey to success. But it's not just about what you get from your circle, it's also about what you give. Be the kind of person who lifts others up, shares knowledge, and offers support. When you contribute to the growth of those around you, you create a culture of mutual encouragement and success. Here's another powerful tip: surround yourself with people who are ahead of you in areas you want to improve. If you want to build wealth, spend time with financially savvy individuals. If you want to get fit, hang out with people who prioritize health. Their habits, mindset, and strategies will naturally rub off on you. And don't underestimate the power of mentors. A good mentor can shortcut your learning curve by sharing their experiences and insights. Seek out individuals who have achieved what you aspire to and learn from them. Their guidance can be a game changer. Remember that building the right circle takes time. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. Even one or two strong, positive relationships can have a profound impact on your life. So be patient, stay intentional, and trust the process. Who you surround yourself with matters more than you might think. The right people will challenge you, support you, and inspire you to reach heights you never thought possible. So choose wisely, because your circle isn't just a reflection of your current self, it's a preview of your future self. 9. Develop emotional resilience. Life has a way of testing us, doesn't it? One moment everything seems to be going according to plan, and the next the rug is pulled out from under you. It could be a financial setback, a personal loss, or even just a day where nothing seems to go right. Whatever the challenge, your ability to navigate these moments is determined by one critical skill: emotional resilience. Now, emotional resilience doesn't mean pretending everything is fine or ignoring your feelings. Quite the opposite. It's about acknowledging your emotions, understanding them, and choosing how you respond. Think of it like this: imagine being in the middle of a storm. Emotional resilience is the anchor that keeps your ship steady, no matter how rough the waters get. The first step to building emotional resilience is mindfulness. Take time to be present in the moment. When you're mindful, you can observe your thoughts and feelings without being overwhelmed by them. It's like stepping back and watching the storm from a safe distance instead of being caught up in it. Start small, spend just a few minutes each day focusing on your breath or simply observing your surroundings. Over time, this practice helps you stay calm and centered even in the face of chaos. Gratitude is another powerful tool. It's easy to focus on what's going wrong, but gratitude shifts your attention to what's going right. Make it a daily habit to reflect on the things you're thankful for. It could be as simple as a kind word from a friend, a meal you enjoyed, or even just the fact that you made it through the day. Gratitude doesn't erase challenges, but it gives you the perspective to see them in a new light. Now let's talk about self-awareness. Emotional resilience starts with knowing yourself, your triggers, your strengths, and your weaknesses. Pay attention to how you react to stress. Do you withdraw? Lash out? Once you're aware of these patterns, you can start to change them. For example, if you know that stress makes you irritable, you can take steps to calm yourself before interacting with others. One of the most effective ways to build emotional resilience is by reframing your perspective on failure. Failure isn't the end, it's part of the process. Each setback is an opportunity to learn, grow, and come back stronger. When you view challenges as stepping stones rather than roadblocks, you empower yourself to keep moving forward. Another key aspect of resilience is surrounding yourself with support. You don't have to face challenges alone. Lean on friends, family, or mentors who can provide encouragement and perspective. Sometimes just talking things through with someone who understands can make all the difference. But resilience isn't just about handling big challenges. It's also about managing the small, everyday stresses that can add up over time. Develop healthy coping mechanisms like exercise, journaling, or even just taking a walk outside. These habits act as pressure valves, releasing stress before it builds up. Finally, remember that resilience is a skill, not a trait. It's something you can develop and strengthen over time. The more you practice staying calm under pressure and bouncing back from setbacks, the easier it becomes. Think of it as building emotional muscles. Just like physical exercise, the more you work at it, the stronger you get. Life will always have its storms, but with emotional resilience, you can navigate them with grace and confidence. It's not about avoiding challenges, it's about rising to meet them. And when you do, you'll find that every setback makes you stronger, every challenge teaches you something new, and every victory feels that much sweeter. 10. Track your progress regularly. Imagine this: you set out on a road trip to a destination you've never been to before. You have a map and a general idea of where you're headed, but you don't check your progress along the way. After hours of driving, you realize you've taken a wrong turn miles back. Frustrating, right? That's exactly what happens when you pursue goals without tracking your progress. Tracking your progress is like checking the map on your journey to success. It's how you make sure you're still on course, identify what's working and adjust what's not. Without it, you're flying blind. Let's start with why tracking is so powerful. When you measure your progress, you make it tangible. Goals can often feel abstract and far away, but tracking breaks them down into measurable milestones. Each time you hit one, it's a small win that boosts your confidence and keeps you motivated. Remember, success isn't just about the destination, it's about the journey. And tracking helps you celebrate the journey. So how do you track effectively? Start by setting clear, specific goals. Vague goals like get fit or save money are hard to measure. Instead, aim for something concrete, like run 3 times a week or save $500 this month. The more specific your goal, the easier it is to track your progress. Next, choose a system that works for you. It could be as simple as a notebook where you jot down your progress each day, or a digital app that provides detailed analytics. The key is to find a method that you'll actually stick to. Consistency is what makes tracking effective. Now let's talk about frequency. Daily tracking keeps you accountable for your habits, while weekly reviews help you see patterns and trends. Monthly and quarterly reflections are great for evaluating your overall progress and making bigger adjustments to your plan. Think of it as zooming in and out. Daily tracking is the close-up, while monthly reviews give you the big picture. But tracking isn't just about numbers. It's also about reflection. Take time to assess how you feel about your progress. Are you satisfied with your results? Are there areas where you feel stuck? Reflection helps you connect the dots between your actions and outcomes, giving you deeper insights into what's working and what needs to change. Here's another benefit: tracking keeps you adaptable. Let's face it, life doesn't always go as planned. Sometimes you'll hit roadblocks that force you to change course. Regularly reviewing your progress allows you to spot these challenges early and adjust your strategy before they derail you. And let's not forget the motivational boost. When you see how far you've come, it fuels your determination to keep going. Even small improvements add up over time, and tracking helps you recognize those incremental gains. It's a reminder that progress, no matter how slow, is still progress. Make tracking a habit. Set aside dedicated time each week or month to review your progress. Treat it as a non-negotiable part of your routine. The more you integrate tracking into your life, the more natural it becomes and the more benefits you'll reap. Tracking your progress isn't just a tool, it's a mindset. It's about taking ownership of your journey and staying accountable to yourself. Because when you know where you are, where you're going, and how to get there, success becomes inevitable. So start tracking today. You'll be amazed at what you can achieve when you keep yourself on course. 11. Celebrate your wins, big and small. Transformation isn't just about reaching the finish line, it's about every step you take along the way. Too often, we get so focused on the end goal that we forget to acknowledge the journey itself. But here's the truth, every little victory deserves to be celebrated. Why? Because it's these small wins that build momentum and keep you moving forward. Imagine climbing a mountain. If you only celebrate when you reach the top, you're missing out on the joy of the climb itself. Every step you take upward, every challenging patch of rocky terrain you conquer is worth acknowledging. It's the same with your personal and professional growth. Success isn't just about the final goal, it's about the person you're becoming along the way. So how do you celebrate these wins? Start by recognizing them. Did you meet a daily habit goal? That's a win. Did you make progress on a project, even if it's just a small step forward? That's a win too. Write them down in a journal or a progress log. Seeing those achievements, no matter how small, builds your confidence and reminds you of your capability. Here's something else to keep in mind. Celebration doesn't have to mean throwing a party or buying something extravagant. It could be as simple as taking a moment to reflect on your progress, sharing your success with a friend, or treating yourself to a small reward. The act of acknowledgement is what matters most. Celebrating your wins also reinforces positive behavior. Think of it like training a muscle. Every time you recognize and reward yourself for progress, you're strengthening your commitment to the process. It's like telling your brain, hey, this is working, let's keep going. Now let's talk about perspective. Not every win will feel monumental, and that's okay. Success is a series of small, consistent actions that compound over time. Think about it, if you improve by just 1% each day, by the end of the year, you'll be 37 times better than where you started. But you won't see that progress unless you're paying attention and celebrating along the way. It's also important to celebrate the lessons learned from setbacks. Yes, even mistakes and failures are part of your growth. Did you try something that didn't work? Celebrate the courage it took to try. Did you learn something new about yourself in the process? That's a win. Every experience, whether it feels like a step forward or backward, is shaping you into the person capable of achieving your goals. Celebrating your wins doesn't just keep you motivated, it keeps you grateful. Gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance, reminding you of all the good that's already in your life. When you focus on what you have achieved, it becomes easier to believe in what you can achieve. Finally, share your wins with others. Success is even sweeter when it's shared, whether it's a close friend, a mentor, or a community of like-minded individuals. Letting others in on your journey creates a sense of connection and accountability. Plus, your wins might inspire someone else to take action on their own goals. So don't wait for the big moments to celebrate. Start celebrating today. Every step forward, every lesson learned, every small victory, it all adds up. And when you look back, you'll see that the journey was just as rewarding as the destination. 12. Commit to the long game. Here's a reality that many people struggle to accept. Real transformation takes time. We live in a world that craves instant results, quick fixes, overnight successes, shortcuts to the top. But the truth is, anything worth achieving requires patience, persistence, and a commitment to the long game. Think about planting a tree. You don't plant a seed today and expect a fully grown tree tomorrow. It takes months, sometimes years, of watering, nurturing, and waiting. The same principle applies to your personal growth and success. The seeds you're planting today, those daily habits, those small actions may not yield results right away. But with time and consistency, they will grow into something extraordinary. The first step in committing to the long game is setting realistic expectations. Transformation doesn't happen in a straight line. There will be ups and downs, moments of progress and moments of frustration. Accepting this reality helps you stay focused on the process rather than getting discouraged by temporary setbacks. Next, trust the process. Even when it feels like nothing's happening, trust that your efforts are making a difference. Think about a bamboo tree. For the first few years, it barely grows above the ground. But during that time, it's developing a deep, strong root system. Then, almost suddenly, it shoots up rapidly. Your journey might feel slow at first, but that's because you're laying the foundation for lasting success. Consistency is key. It's not about doing something perfectly, it's about showing up every day and giving your best effort. Miss a day? Don't let it derail you. Just get back on track the next day. Over time, those consistent actions will compound into significant results. Here's another important aspect: stay adaptable. The long game isn't about rigidly sticking to a plan no matter what. It's about staying committed to your vision while being flexible in your approach. If something isn't working, adjust it. If new opportunities arise, consider how they align with your goals. Adaptability ensures that you stay on course even when the road takes unexpected turns. Find joy in the journey. When you're focused solely on the end goal, it's easy to lose sight of the progress you're making along the way. Celebrate those small wins, as we discussed earlier. Take pride in the effort you're putting in each day. When you find joy in the process, the journey becomes just as rewarding as the destination. Surround yourself with reminders of why you started. Whether it's a vision board, a journal, or even a simple note on your desk, keep your goals and motivations front and center. On the tough days, and there will be tough days, these reminders will reignite your determination to keep going. Lastly, remember that transformation is a lifelong journey. The one-year success plan is just the beginning. Each milestone you reach opens the door to new possibilities and challenges. Embrace the idea that growth never truly ends. The more you commit to the process, the more you'll realize that the journey itself is the reward. So stay the course. Keep planting those seeds, nurturing them with effort and patience. Trust that with time they will grow into the results you're seeking. And when you look back 1 year from now, you'll be amazed at how far you've come, not just in terms of what you've achieved, but in who you've become along the way. Change doesn't happen by accident. It takes clarity, focus, and consistent action. Over the next year, if you commit to these steps, you'll see a transformation in your life that you once thought was impossible. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. The journey is yours, and the time to start is now.